All right, we are live. This is actually episode 340
Damn.
in the numbers. But actually, I want to talk to you guys about that. I figured you guys would be cool with this, but I'm uh, I'm doing a rebrand since this isn't really Entre Programmers anymore. I've got my graphics guy just doing a little logo for the podcast and everything. And I think let me see what I told him to call it, but um, I think I told him to call it Business Mastermind or something. Let me see what I said. Oh, Entrepreneur Mastermind Podcast. How's that sound?
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's basically what we're doing. Yeah, I figured that'll be a lot better. People will find us, and
Did
yeah.
we want to bring on a? I know because he said Max obviously isn't hasn't been coming. Did you want to bring on like a fourth person? You think it's cool with us three? Like, what do you think about that, guys?
Uh, I'd be open to bringing on another person. The only issue is that the time. Will we be able to, in an hour, if we do have four people, we might have to do rotations of like two people per week. I think to make that make sense. Or I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
I love. So I've joined this. I'm part of the DC Mastermind. Have you heard of Dynamite Circle, guys?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty legit. And these guys are. We had one group, and our next group is I want to say next week. And these guys are like crushing way more than me. I'm like the small fish in the pond, and these guys are doing like multiple seven figures. And one of the guys, Cena, the mastermind, he likes the outline. If you guys don't like this, that's totally cool. But like we all vote on a topic, and we all talk about that topic across the whole entire hour with our businesses. So like we talked about hiring last week, right? And then next week I think is going to be lead gen, and then we're going to talk about so that's what we've been doing in terms of because there's like five of us, but like it may make more sense to do individual if there's only three of us, but we can always play with it.
Okay, well, let's see. I think that the biggest thing is finding a quality person.
Yeah,
If
no,
we can
for sure.
find a quality person that would add to the group, then yeah, let's get him in. I think what we're looking for is someone that's doing six figures. I mean, seven figures, and doing some kind of ads, right? Paid acquisition. So
Yeah, absolutely.
cool. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So yeah. So we should have like the logo and stuff fairly soon.
That's really loud.
Yeah.
Danny, there's like a lot of feedback on that.
What were you?
This is bad.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's horrible. What were you doing before? It was working whatever you're doing before.
Get out.
This isn't working.
Like,
All right. That's good then.
No.
that's
Now
bad.
it's better talk.
Okay.
Nope.
It's really loud.
I know what happened. You've got it. Your mic's working now, but you've got the volume too high on the mic because you adjusted it in Windows because you had the other mic. So if you bring it back down to normal level, I think that mic should work.
How's this?
Nope, still blown out.
Still blown out. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's blown out is the only problem, right?
Now it sounds
Okay.
good. Whatever you're using now sounds good.
Okay. Well, that's what it is then.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. Do we want to go? Let's do the round robin then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone want to jump in and go first? I'll jump in and go first. All right. So let's see. So actually, I'll start with what I did. I did a promotion with John Anthony Lifestyle. I had him on the channel, and he's got some damn good marketing. Like his guy, there's one of the guys who's working with his marketing manager, Alan, is just extremely sharp. I talked to the guy. They wanted me to promote his, like, he's doing like a 2-day boot camp, like pickup boot camp for like $27. I think it's like a partially online, thing. Like it's a challenge basically, right? It's one of those challenge things. And then, on the back end, he's going to obviously sell high ticket to that. He's doing some pretty good revenue. I think he's doing over $1 million a year right now. And I think that he's close to like the 2 million mark. So anyway, at first I was like, I don't know. I don't really want to promote, but they got on a call with me, and there's two things that they had in mind. So one of them was, if I promote this thing, they will promote to their customer list, which is over 2,000 people, the financial freedom piece, right, for me. So I'm going to be on his channel next week, and I'm basically going to make the call to action, book a 15-minute call with me, right? And then they're going to send to his list of buyers, of high ticket buyers, the financial freedom program. So I think that's going to be well worth it. I think that will convert really, really high, since they're already buyers. And then also what they're making the case, which makes a lot of sense, is he was like, look, we've got the dating space, like we're helping guys in the dating space, but we don't have the fitness and we don't have the mindset and financial side. So he's like, we want to get Jay, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jay. I just lost his last name now, but he's a good in the fitness space. So they've got a guy that's in the fitness space. They want to have me in the financial and mindset space, and so kind of create this sort of community, basically for men, right? So all the areas of masculine development, right? Help these guys, if they need someone, I send dating guys there, they send fitness guys to Jay, and vice versa. So I was like, okay, well, this makes a lot of sense to do that. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. We'll see how it performs, but I didn't so that promotion I did was not an affiliate promotion at all. I'm not getting it, and he's not getting. We're not doing affiliate. Instead, we're just going to do, basically reciprocity, right? He'll promote my stuff, I'll promote his stuff. So I think that will end up working out pretty well.
Yeah, John Anthony's pretty polarizing in his in his approach. Like he kind of like attack. I think his thing is like he attacks other dating coaches and how shitty they are in his. But I mean, that's one way to market. You're very polarizing. You kind of stand out. Like, so.
Yeah, and I've told him like I don't agree with his tactics. I don't believe in calling people out. Like I believe, but I get it. Like that's his tactic. That's what he wants to do. He's that's what he's going to do. So it's fine. Like, I mean, at the same time, also, I can see the value in like, cause there are a lot of the guys that he does call out, they are full of bullshit.
Yeah,
they are, sure.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, no, I totally agree. He made a video on me a couple weeks ago. Like, apparently I was looking in the comments, like I was one of the only channels he actually agreed with.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the video he reviewed was like me basically saying how like a lot of dating coaches will keep you in the dating loop where like they will never like, it'll never be enough to exit, and like, you know what I mean? Like you always feel like you're not good enough. Because like you should never have more than one dating program to sell. Like once you figure it out, you should figure it out. But like companies like RSD back in the day, as much as they helped me out, like, how many programs do they need for you to learn stuff, right? You should master it and be done.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah. Let me know how that goes. I'm curious. Because like I was thinking of reaching out to him actually, because like I have the quitting porn thing, which is like, I'm sure some guys struggle with, right? So
yeah, they've got like very good marketing. If you look at that challenge sales page, it's really, really well done. So I'm going to try and actually leverage some of their marketing as well.
Do you remember where I can find the page? Is it on his YouTube channel? I can like find that link.
It should be, or you can go to my channel. If you go to the live stream I did with John, it'll be in the link there.
Your main channel?
Yeah, on my main channel. Yeah. But yeah, it's really, really well done challenge page. Like I have that as a task to model that for anything that I do, because it's, it looks really good. And the offer is really good. It's like a ridiculous offer too, I think, so I'm sure that they'll crush it with that. So, cool. But let's see, in other news, what else is going on that I'm working on? One really cool thing. When I was at that video Grow with Video conference, there was a company called Flow Chat that was handing out flyers. And at first I ignored it, but I grabbed one of the flyers, but I checked it out, And what it is it's this software that basically integrates with Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all this, and it's like sales pipeline software for DMs, right? And the cool thing about this is that, let's say like on Instagram, you can take everyone who likes a reel that you've made and bring them into the funnel as leads, and then you use some scripts that you can develop to DM them, outreach DM, not them coming inbound, you reaching out to them and saying, hey, I noticed you like this reel talking about financial freedom, can I ask you some questions, right? So I sent that to my sales team, and they hired a full-time DMer to just use that program. And we're doing like a ridiculous volume. Like he's spending 8 hours a day just DMing people, cold DMing people on Instagram. Now we're going to move it to LinkedIn as well, which I think is going to be even more effective. But it's just crazy. It's like there's like 13 touch points in this funnel. Yeah. In fact, I wonder if I can. I'll let me share the screen real quick, because I don't think there's anything that I couldn't really show here, just so you guys can see how this works. It's pretty damn cool. Okay, so look, yeah. So this is the financial freedom pipeline. So you can see that the leads in, and we value the leads at $3K on average. So $1 million of leads in. How many people got the icebreakers? 48-hour follow-up to the icebreaker, pain point question, follow-up to that, invite to call. There's 24 leads, right? 48-hour follow-up for invite to call.
Does this automatically get moved as he talks to them? Like
he's got to message them, on there, and then
he manually moves each one.
I think he manually moves each one. I'm not sure exactly how that process works. I'll have to ask about that, but then you've got the booking link, and then follow up for the booking link, and then calls booked. And so as we keep on getting this flow, we're going to keep on getting, calls booked for essentially, it's, whatever his cost is, because it's direct outreach. So, and you can do this with, all kinds of leads. Like you can do it on Facebook groups and all kinds of things like that. There's,
where did you locate the DM guy?
I didn't hire him myself. It's the sales, because I've kind of have that. I'm partnering with that sales team, right? So they found the guy to do this.
Okay.
Are you guys seeing conversions on this now?
Not yet. It just started really 4 or 5 days ago. So hopefully we'll start seeing some conversions there.
Are you guys seeing any, did you guys start Facebook ads as well?
Yeah. So Facebook ads are running. There was a little bit of hiccups in getting it started, but I think at this point, last I saw,
Are they using your account?
Benny, I think you're talking about just like a tad too loud, just a tad.
Yeah.
I'm too loud. Is this better now?
That's better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just stay back, lean back.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Let me see if I can bring up the ads manager here. Oh shit. All right. I'm not so great at navigating this, but let me take a look here. Okay. So why does that one show that it's in review? I thought there were, or maybe this one. Okay. This one looks like it turned off, but we had cost per result at 461. He said though, I mean, that I got a text saying that they tracked leads and we're seeing at basically $80 per book call at this point. Let me just double check and see what he had here. So he's got, 4 calls from the new campaign, $320 spent on the campaign so far, $80 per call. So the goal is to get that down to, $50 per call. But
where do you see? I don't know. Well, okay. Well, you have the data.
It's new ad that'll be coming up. How do I preview the ad?
You can just click on preview.
Where is that? Oh, preview. Okay. Yeah. So this is the ad.
Yeah, you're gonna test a lot of copy to figure out which one's gonna
Yeah. And
kick
it's
ass.
this video. Can you guys hear this?
No.
No, I can't find your ads library just yet, so maybe over time it will show.
Isn't there a thing? I thought that by default it had the sound on there, but anyway, yeah, you can check it out. But it's just like a quick, like 1 minute ad that's basically talking about like, don't wait until it's stupid to wait until you're old to retire. You know,
$80 for a booked call, as in someone scheduled it in their calendar, or $80 for someone who opted in as a lead and now you're nurturing it to book a call.
They've actually scheduled the call. They're actually scheduled to, in the calendar. So yeah, so we'll see. We're just getting started here, but
Yeah, it's too early to tell anything, but that's good. $80
Yeah.
is good.
but yeah, between the DM cold outreaches and this, I think we should have a pretty good funnel coming in. So, and then the other thing I've been working on is I basically cleared off everything. Remember I said by the end of July, I would have all the things. I went through, I took all the projects, the things that I absolutely feel like I have to get done. They're getting done next week. And then everything else is just in a Notion board, just for projects that I could do at some later time, so that I completely can move my focus to two primary focuses. One is creating superior content, and two is the well that never runs dry, like making that content better, and all the support for the sales process for that and promotion. So,
are you guys running traffic to the same landing page as the organic one?
Yeah. Oh no. Well, it's a duplicated one so that they can track specifically. That's the best way to be absolutely sure of the tracking. Because the only way people can book calls through that one is if they come from Facebook ads. So
interesting.
Yeah, just to summarize, so you got this flow chat, right, software, and they the company hired someone to do DMs for you, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And basically he's outbound, he's doing outbound, like he's looking at people's comments who comment on your content or the ads or what?
People who comment on my content or who like reels that I've put out that are
like your reels
about financial stuff.
Starts the conversations with them, got them to a call. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that sounds. And do you mind sharing how much FlowChat is per annual or per month?
I think it's $500 a month.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's expensive software.
Yeah.
But
dang,
all you need to do is close one lead. You know what I mean?
Per month, like less than a lead per month.
Less than a lead. Yeah. One lead per year, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right.
So,
And yeah, for sure. I think it basically just does the tracking for. Interesting. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, and even if your cold outreach is like, if you close 1 out of 1,000 contacts, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if you have that dismal of, which that might be the rate, it doesn't matter. There's thousands and thousands, and there's an unlimited supply of leads. You know what I mean? So,
because right now, I mean, what we're doing is like for the Instagram strategy is we are, doing the stories, right? Call to action. So I've been posting stories and we're getting some DMs that way, but like it's for our biggest issue is the demographics of the people reaching out to us. It's like a lot of young dudes, a lot of guys from parts of the world that just don't have the financial resources to invest. And so like for us, that's where we're struggling, is like getting the people who can actually purchase. I think it's just a numbers game, to be honest, right? Like, you know what I mean? I could be wrong, but like I think it's especially people who are interested in quitting porn. It's like a lot of younger guys. The average age, I think, is like 17, 18, to be honest. Average, not a lot of young kids. Yeah. And so that's been our biggest issue, is like getting the older demographics. But I know our competitor, he's doing way higher traffic than we are. So it's just like figuring out how to just bump our numbers in terms of like getting more followers and just like getting the numbers down. I think eventually we are going to have something like this, because right now we just have our success manager just reaching out to them, and he's like spending 2 hours a day and he gets like an average 4 to 5 links sent, not actual calls booked, links sent. And so it's like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so we need to kind of step that up. But
The other thing I did too this week, I had quite a few. It's a pretty busy week. I don't know if you guys are using this or if you're using this, Josh, for scheduling. I'm using Later. I've got my editor making TikToks and Reels now. Like he's trained fully on that, and so we just he's just putting them in here, and then getting them scheduled to go out. So it goes to all the platforms, including
like
Twitter.
posts on all of them.
Yeah, it auto posts on all of them.
What?
So including TikTok. Yeah, Later it's $19 a month. Totally worth it. Oh, he needs to turn on this duet and stitch. That's important. Just tell him.
That's dope. I love it. I need to just like sit down with you, John, just like get all the software you use. Just like find the shit. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, the only thing it doesn't do is that it doesn't, at least I don't think that it allows you to on Instagram to make it do the Reels bonus, which isn't a big deal, but I just have to manually go in because on your Instagram you can have bonus where they pay you money, but it's I don't know if you've got access to it, but they'll give me a little bit of money for Reels. Like I get a couple $100 a month.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
you can pay for some of the softwares you use.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he probably needs to do an ad first comment too. I'll need to figure out some of those things on there because that'd probably be good too. But yeah, so that is going. And then I got a thumbnail guy. Check this out. Let me do my Trello. Okay, so this new guy, I just hired him. I've contracted him to do 21 thumbnails for me per week. So what we're doing is Evan Carmichael's A/B testing strategy. And this is like some of the thumbnails that he created here for an A/B test for this video. Women will use you unless you do this. This is thumbnail A. And this is thumbnail B. So I think that
How do you guys do your testing and to see the results again?
Well, so here we go. Here's another software.
You can use TubeBuddy for that.
Yeah, and TubeBuddy, you can run A/B tests here. We haven't started running the A/B tests yet, but yeah, you can just create A/B tests in here, and basically just go in, boom, A/B test. You can pick like the latest video, and you could do the metadata one, which is more extensive. But we're just doing thumbnail CTR tests, and then once it's significantly significant or statistically significant, it'll automatically set to the winning version. So basically, the algorithm that I have for this guy I hired is that he's going to do every week. He's going to do 6 thumbnails for the 3 videos coming out this week, right? And then, but we're not going to A/B test them until 1 week after, right? Because we're just going to pick the best one and go with that. But after 1 week, then we're going to do a second thumbnail for that video. Like the videos from last week we'll be switching out. And then the other 15 thumbnails, he's going to take us. I did a spreadsheet. I did an export of the YouTube data of videos that had the highest impressions and the low and CTRs below 5%. So I figured that's the most leverage because those are already being given impressions by YouTube. And so if we can remove the CTR on those, that will move the view count more than anything else. And so his instructions are to go down that list, make thumbnails, do 15 A/B tests for those. And then he's going to keep on, trying to get winners until he gets a winner. It improves the thumbnail, right? And so, because those are the most optimal ones. And then he gets a bonus if he doubles the CTR on the thumbnail. So I'm paying him pretty good. I'm paying him like a couple grand a month to do this, but I figure this will pay off because I feel like this is going to easily double the traffic, maybe triple the traffic on the channel.
Yeah, you know what? Ed from Film Booth, you know that channel, that guy?
Mm-hmm, yep.
Yeah, he mentioned this in one of his videos to do this, and it boosted some of his videos.
And you can see, so that's like 2 of his thumbnails for this. And then he's got the other one I have right now is he's got this one, the best path to freedom. And this is the other one there. So yeah, so I feel like with his style of thumbnails, we'll do a lot better than, you know, what I'm doing right now. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I've been working on.
Yeah, man, you just brought a lot of value, John. You didn't bring any obstacles, really. I love it.
Yeah, had a good productive week. So
That's good, man. That's really good. Yeah. I guess I could start. I mentioned you always go last minute. You can go next if you want.
No, it's fine. I'm good.
Okay. I can just talk about what I'm doing, and then I guess it'd be learning and obstacles. We're hiring another therapist to start working with these marriage guys, because as far as results go, it's like, man, like this program, it's really hard to get these guys results, like saving getting a wife to come back after she decides to want a divorce. It's hard. I'm not saying it's impossible. I've gotten some results for guys, and I've gotten some marriages, actually some wives to come back.
That's your primary offer? Get your wife back?
I'd say primary. I'd say like right now that and the quitting porn offer are pretty 50-50 split as far as revenue per month right now. But like, this is something that I'm personally struggling with, is like not like an actual business thing, but just like an internal decision, is like, I'm really drawn to like helping men quit porn more, because it's like my personal problem I had, and also dating advice I'm passionate about. And like, I believe in monogamy. I want to find one person. I believe in marriage. I want to have kids, but like, I'm less drawn to helping them. And I think it's just like a difference of, like, a lot of these guys are, they're typical 9 to 5, right? They live in the Midwest or the South. And it's just like, it's harder to connect with these guys. And also a lot of them are kind of more in their victim mindset. And that's because like, it's harder for them to like change their wife. So it's like more, I guess, energy draining to work with these guys. And that's why I'm like, I'm trying to find someone who's like an expert at what they do, and like have them come on board and like also run individual calls with these guys. So the main offer is $5K, and we want to offer them 4 individual calls. And instead of me doing that, I want to hire a therapist to help with that. That's really good at what they do, and hopefully that works out. It's just like knowing who's best to hire, and hiring decisions like always really hard. It's kind of stressful, but this is a huge potential offer. I mean, there's a lot of divorces. There's 2,000 divorces every single day in the United States. There's 700,000 a year. It's a lot. We just have to figure out our targeting a little bit better, to be honest. Because right now the Facebook targeting is like so wishy-washy. Like one week we'll get high quality leads, the next week we get like not quality leads.
Well, if you're hiring, you wouldn't really know the perfect guy right off the bat. Have you considered possibly like just letting them have a go at it and seeing the results, instead of trying to make a decision without really them doing the work?
That's kind of a risk,
Yeah, it's a risk, but at least through experimentation rather than through analysis.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to get this person on board and helping as soon as possible, but I do believe in like hiring slow and like making sure they're the right fit, especially when it comes to service fulfillment. Like, getting the wrong therapist in there and like, or a coach and saying the wrong things, and like just giving the person bad experiences could be really damaging to the company. So I'm going to be really hesitant to hire someone on that's like good fit. We have these 2 other coaches, but like one coach, he's kind of getting burnt out with how many clients he has. So it's a good problem to have, but so there's like no advice I guess I need in there. I guess like the biggest issue is right now, John, I'm glad you brought that up, because right now we're starting this Instagram strategy and it's just going so slow. And to grow followers, the reels are super important, and we are posting a reel a day, but like we're doing the promotions and it's just not picking up. And it's like our competitors at 140,000 followers on Instagram, and all through quitting porn. He's crushing it. And I'm just like trying to figure out what he's doing. And it's like,
yeah,
I can't figure it out. But
is that his only offer?
Yeah. But right now on Instagram, we're purely branding ourselves as just quitting porn. So we just started. So maybe it's like just a patience thing, to be honest, but he's doing something right, and we're just trying to figure it out. But like,
but that's also something to consider, the fact that he's not doing 2 things overall.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that you could be right, Manny, and like I just don't ever want to make excuses. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if he can do it, I can do it. I think my biggest problem is like, so I have a business partner. I'm not sure if you knew that, Manny. Me and Marco are 50-50. And it's like we strike a good balance with each other, and there's a lot of pros of that. He's more of the operations, the brain. I'm more the face and the heart, but he's very frugal and like conservative. And like I'm like, if there's a problem, let's hire a coach, right? And so like we're in this kind of battle back and forth where he's super risk averse, and I just want to like, no, let's just throw the money at it and like figure it out, And he wants to try to figure it out first. And to be honest, like the guy, our competitor, who's crushing it right now, he actually hired. He has no Bastion slot. No, okay. Bastion has this like organic growth system he sells, and like I wanted to invest in it back when it was only 5K. And this guy did. Now he's crushing it with Bastion. He's working with Bastion, and like now Bastion charges 20K for the program. And like, it's just like, it's hard for me not to harbor resentment towards him, my business partner, for like not moving forward with this. And it's just like, I don't know if you guys don't have any business partners. You guys are the full-time, you're the head honcho. So I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but I'm trying to figure out like how to know how to best make decisions, especially when it comes to investing in like coaching and stuff and making those decisions or not. Like, how would you guys determine that for yourself if it's like worth the investment?
I'd love to hear what John has to say about it.
I think that if you've got someone that's already doing what you're trying to do, it's worth the investment, right? Whatever the cost is, because because that's the quickest way to get there, right? There's no other. I mean, you can figure it out on your own, but if you've got someone that's already doing it, right, there's nothing better than that. Now, the difficulty, what I have found, is that it's hard to find in many cases someone who is doing what you're trying to do and is legitimate, right? Because there are some people that, there's plenty of coaches out there, but I think that makes sense.
So can I give you guys an example of something that we may purchase in August or not? And you guys tell me what you think. So there's these two guys, and they do YouTube. They recently hired on Alex Hormozi as one of their clients. They, Ali Abdaal. They started working with Ali Abdaal at 1 million subscribers. Now he's at 3, and they have a bunch of other good testimonials. And like, I had a call with him, and we decided not to move forward right now because we started implementing this new strategy to see how it works first. And it's $3K a month for his lower package. $3K a month. And
and what are they doing for $3K a month?
Yeah. So what they're doing is they are basically coming into the analytics, doing a deep dive on the analytics, seeing what the main bottlenecks are, what the main problems and then like they give us consultation for every single week, and then they give us they help us come up with the ideas and thumbnails and titles, and it's pretty comprehensive. One thing I wish they did have that other less expensive YouTube programs have is they don't have a community. So it's just like you and the consultation person that you work with, the coach you work with. And I wish they had a community aspect. Because if I can like, sit there and like share my thumbnails with other creators and titles and get like a lot of people's feedback, that'd be a lot more valuable. But yeah, so we're trying to figure out if that's worth the investment.
Are you like, is YouTube your primary driver right now?
My primary driver?
Yeah, traffic driver, revenue driver.
It was, but now like the marriage program is starting to overtake our other program because we're not getting as many leads. YouTube's kind of dried out a little bit, like I said in the previous weeks. Now we're not getting as good leads and views, and that's why we did the Instagram strategy, try to increase the leads that way through quitting porn. So right now it's mainly like the Facebook ads.
So which of these is working? Like, if you had to pick one of these 3 strategies and bet your horses on it, which one would you pick?
All signs point to the marriage program, but that's the least passionate I am about that program. Even though doing the best. So
I think there are 2 questions here then. One is which program, but then the other one is which marketing channel.
Well, and the thing about it, we were talking about this last week too, was that because we're talking about putting your like into a box, right? And so what is Josh's box, which we talked about the idea that it's that he helps men find the woman of their dreams and keep her, right? So I think that unifies both of those things. Like it unifies everything. It's more like, you know, the perspective of saying, all right, this is the mission. This is what we're doing for men. And these are the tools that we use to help them do it. As opposed to being product focused, it's mission focused. It's not even mission focused. It's transformation focused, right? The transformation that guys want to have is that they want to go, they want to basically go from where they are now to finding the girl of their dreams to keeping her, right? And so that, like, different guys are on different points in that transformation. And, you know, the way I see it, Josh is helping them along each one of those points with different, you know, guys at the far end of it are at the marriage part, saving their marriage. Guys at the early end of it are, you know, quitting porn so that they can go and actually be successful with women and, you know, and get and improve their lives. Right. So I don't know, that's, I think having that unified thing, it changes the question instead of like which product, which thing, because if that's the mission and guys see that and see that transformation, then all of the content flows into that. And those are the different points along that transformation.
Yeah. And one thing that we're discussing is, like, we noticed that other companies that are doing really well, even in different niches and markets, they have a specific avatar they help. It's a very specific client, and they help that client through all their life problems, as opposed to like where like our different products help. There's some overlap in the clientele and the demographics, but there's like between the marriage and like the quitting porn, it's very different, right? Like
it's very different.
Very few overlap, even though a lot of guys who would get through a divorce, they struggle with porn, and some guys who quit porn, they're in relationships and marriages, but it's very few and far between. And so we're trying to think, like, should we then switch over now into finding our ideal customer, whether it's like an entrepreneur or a business owner, and helping them through their life problems instead of like focusing on these products and the kind of transformation you spoke about.
Hold on. Why are you saying that your Instagram's not working? Your Instagram strategy?
When I say not working, I mean, like, we're getting some calls booked, but like, it's just not, I'm comparing myself against our competitor, right? So like,
no, I'm looking at your reels right now, right? You're doing one a day now, right?
A day, and we want to step it up to a reel a day and a post a day. So 2 posts a day, 1 reel, 1 post.
Yeah. I mean, the posts probably don't even matter that much, but the reels, I mean, you're getting good views on your reels and they're increasing.
Yeah, I
You've
know.
only been doing this for a short amount of time.
I'm part of myself, John. So that's the issue.
You keep doing what you're doing on the reels. Your account will grow and explode for sure. Like, you're getting, you know, the last few reels you did, you know, some of them got 6-7K views. That's damn good, you know, for
I guess, like,
only
I'm comparing
having
myself against like my TikTok numbers too. And like, sometimes I'll get like a TikTok that will go up to like 200,000 views. So it's like,
yeah, but
what's the metric for success for you for Instagram in terms of how many calls booked per week or how many sales per week?
I want to, so like, I mean, long term, I want to be the best in the market. And so like, we know what our competitor's doing, and he's doing $80,000 a month off Instagram alone. So we want to beat that.
Right. So what's your immediate metric? What do you guys want right now? Like, how many sales per
$5,000 this month for organic sell or Instagram sales. And
we
wanted to get to 10,000 followers by the end of the month, which doesn't look like it's going to happen unless it real blows up, and then we would.
Okay. All right. So the question that you initially started with was, should you invest $3,000 in a YouTube program?
Yeah.
And the question that I want to ask is, which of these strategies are you going to be writing really hard? Instagram or YouTube or Facebook ads? Because if you're going to invest the money, you better commit to the damn thing to make it work, rather than have the investment going while you're also trying to do other things. And
that's the thing is like, that's the thing is like, am I spreading myself too thin? And like, I look at you, John, like, and you're also like, you know, posting on all platforms, right? So it's like, it's not impossible to post on all platforms and succeed. So, but like, I love YouTube. I personally love YouTube. I've always loved YouTube. I'm like a big fan of YouTube. I've been in the YouTube game for a while. always wanted to blow that up, so like I'm passionate about YouTube, and I think that's
Right.
an important thing to kind of analyze. Like I love making like long form videos. But
Yeah, I mean, I think that, yeah, I don't think you're spreading yourself too thin, like hitting the platform, because you're just creating one piece of content for. I mean, you're creating short form video and long form video, right? That's really the way to look at it. Yeah, could you should optimize your content for reels for short term video, for short form video. I think so, because reels are way more valuable than TikTok's. Just it's not super valuable, in terms of leads. Like Instagram is way more valuable. But also at the same time, you have to think about it this way. Like what you're doing on Instagram with your strategy right now is a growth strategy on Instagram. Like you're not going to get those results just by, like, you're going to get the results by growing the account to 50K 60K followers, and then your average reel views would be like 20 30 40K. That's where you're going to be able to start to really monetize off of this, and off of stories, where you'll do the stories and say DM me. Right now, if you have a low, you've only got a few thousand followers on Instagram, it's not going to be super effective yet. But if you keep on posting these reels, you're going to grow the account, the asset, to the point where you will be able to capitalize on that. So you really can't compare your competitor to your competitor at this point, because they've already grown their account. You're just in the process of growing the account at this point.
I understand that.
But I think in
Are you
6
running-
months, you'll be there.
Are you running your own ads?
No. So Marco is doing the Facebook ads. He's in charge of that.
That's your partner?
Yeah, I'm more in charge of all the organic platforms.
I see. Are you guys doing anything with ads in terms of growth as well there, or just focusing mostly on
All our
growth on this front?
Our ad spend is going into the marriage program right now. We're not running ads anymore for the quitting form. We used to, but they haven't been converting as well, so we stopped running them. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, you're right. It's just having more patience, and yeah, it's usually what it comes down to, right? But consistency. And all right, Manny, it's all you, man.
Yeah. So I've been traveling for the last 2 weeks. Don't really have much of a good business update, but that VSL feedback you guys had, or especially you, Josh, in terms of call to action being weak, like, because I was thinking about the curve, the watch curve or the watch time curve, and it is pretty much in alignment with anything I've seen for any of the other VSLs. But then I wasn't getting enough calls booked through it. So that's one thing I'm gonna roll out. I'm rolling out the new version.
I wouldn't say it's weak. I just like I said in the Loom I sent you, it's just like when guys coming on a call for me, it's like they need the call to get the personalized habits or strategy or whatever. Like they can't do that on their own. And for me, it's like, well, I love what you had to say. I'm gonna go try my own first, these 3 steps, and then I'll come back to you. But then, like, you know how that works. People are like, they forget about you because we get blasted with 100 things a day, 1,000. So it's like, I think positioning the call as like something they need if they really want to truly improve this.
Yeah, how would you do that?
Yeah, man. So like, like, I mean, this is, I'm trying to remember exactly everything in the on the web VSL, but like, if there's like, let's say one of the steps, they need, and there's like something that you reveal, like what it is, but not how to do it, right? Like the what, not the how. It's like, in order, and when Nikola Tesla, when he did this thing, he implemented the 3-4-8 technique, and that alone, man, he personalized that to his personal, I'm making this off the top of my head, but like his personal sleep schedule. And when you can master your sleep schedule with this technique, that's when you're the most productive. So we need to know exactly, and this is what we actually give you on the call. Like we hear what your sleep schedule is, what your hours per week you can actually work, and then we give you this 3-8-1 rule. And this is what really sets you apart at the very end. I'm making it up, but it's something that they can only get on the call, right? They can only get when they schedule a call. Like then on the call, they're like, okay, like they're getting the strategy from you or whatever that unique thing is, but then you're also like leading them through the sales process, obviously. It's almost like a form of manipulation, but like it's for their own benefit, right? So like we tell guys like, hey, you're gonna get your own personal strategy of how to quit porn. And like technically the strategy is like the program, right? But like we're walking them through like why they want to quit porn, what's gonna happen, the whole sales process. It's almost like, talking to a girl and you're like, hey, like after party at my house, like you're not lying. The party's just you and her with music and drinks. But like when she comes inside, she's not gonna be like, where's the DJ? Where's all the people? No, she's there, right? She's in the house. She wants to hang out, right? So that's kind of the way I see it with sales calls. It's like, just as long as you figure out a way to get them on the call and you're benefiting them, it's a win-win.
Yeah, that's a good analogy, but I've never thought about that.
Seduction and sales, I always make those comparisons.
What's that?
I always make the comparison with seduction and sales all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true. That does make sense though, to have them, something that they can, that they need to, why do they need to jump on that call? Right. Because they're going to get this thing. Yeah.
yeah, they need to feel something that is, because the people I've got on the sales call, like the people who actually ended up showing up for the calls, or the ones who were there, were already ready to buy. Basically, they were already like sold on the concept, and they're like, yeah, I'm interested. So it was like, okay, these people didn't really, quote unquote, they didn't come for anything other than being already ready to indulge in that product.
Mhm.
So I didn't get any of those who were in the maybe mode, right? I didn't get any of those who were like in the 50 to 80% interest. I only got those who were like 90% plus interest rates. We're like, yep, I'm ready. And that means there was a very small portion of those people who should have been there on the call.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's
Need
good.
a bribe.
Yeah. You need an ethical bribe. The other thing I've been thinking about with the Focus Blocks offer, one of the things that's on my radar now, like observing the conversions over the last month, 2 months now, I feel what's happening is Focus Blocks is currently positioned as a tool, as a broad appeal tool, because what I'm saying there is how you can do 2 hours of work in 1 hour, or double your productivity in 9 seconds, and things like that. It basically is a tool kind of positioning, but not really an aspirational kind of, like, doesn't really excite, or doesn't really create a big outcome in terms of like, oh my God, the dream of the 4-hour work week, right?
Mm.
The 4-hour work week was a dream, while double your hourly productivity in 9 seconds is like work, or is positioned as a tool that helps you do more work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So partly I've been trying to figure out how to kind of change the positioning of this offer. Well, someone told me, actually Chris Williams told me, this guy, he's like, you need to complicate the offer, because Focus Blocks is it's almost too good to be true, simple offer. So complicate the offer in the sense, make it more complex, but position the results in a different way, and offer them more than just Focus Blocks as a wrapper, like things around it that make them feel like the dream is possible rather than the work that they would do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Always the higher why they want to buy it, right? Like guys, yeah, they want to quit porn, or they want to like get laid, but like, sell them what they want, give them what they need, right? Like deep down, like guys want to like love themselves, right? And accept themselves and feel confident, and like, but like we're not going to say it, but we're not going to say that on the initial marketing, the first point of contact, right? You're going to say double your productivity, right? Or like, double your money, or right, or whatever it is, and then you're going to go, and as you go into the sales call, you're going to get that down to the deeper aspects.
And it's still, I think, again, coming back to anytime you're ever selling anything, you're selling a transformation. That's the only thing that we can sell, right? So if you position it as a tool, that's not a transformation, right? But the transformation is what they will become, right? So, one transformation with focus blocks is become the guy that stops procrastinating and gets his work done, and is that high earner, because that all you need is to get your work done, and you can do this, right? And this is the transformation. Like, you can become that guy. um, that's the outcome that they want. Like, what do they want to become at the end of this, right? They want to become someone who consistently gets their work done, who gets
Right. So someone who gets their work done consistently is still like, it's not a dream per se. It's more of like the grind, if you think about it, right?
yeah
It's more of like the feeling of like, okay, well, you're telling me I'll do 2 hours of work in 1 hour. Great. I'll still be working all day. And, the dream is kind of, it's almost like selling a different concept, selling a different idea.
Well, let me think about, like, okay, because I've sold some focus blocks in the last few weeks here. So,
You have,
right. So what I've been telling people, I mean, I've been just telling people, just go sign up for this, but I also been telling them, look, this is something that you're going to use, like the problems you're struggling with right now of not being able to get the shit done, and like not being able to focus on the work, and procrastinating. Like, here's the thing that's going to solve this problem for you. I use this, just jump on here and talking about how you've got accountability. It's that's the key thing here. You're going to focus and sit and do your work, and because you've got the camera on, it's going to make you do that work, right? Part of the thing that I've been selling is the idea that you don't need willpower, right? Willpower is, you don't have the willpower to do it. So if you go and you have this camera on, it's going to force you to do these things, and to get this done, because they already have this objective, this goal that they want to accomplish, right? And they know that they can't do it on their own. And so this is a way of adding consistency to their life, and commitment, right? So I almost think of it as, like, I mean, one way to look at that your positioning too is to make this like you're a focus blocker, right? It's like, we are focus blockers. Like, we like create this community aspect of, like, this is a different kind of worker. Like, we, there kind of almost is that, right? Already, you've got a lot of guys that are in the community of focus blocks, and they're special in some way, right? Because
it's a cult.
yeah, you have to create more of that cult mentality, right? High performers.
Yeah.
But I think also the other thing I was thinking about with your product is that maybe it's just, because there's the different levels of product awareness, and, in the idea of like selling things to people that aren't necessarily looking for the solution, it's harder, right? But who's your best, your people who are already wanting to buy what you have are people who are productivity junkies, right? Because they already get it. They're already trying to be productive, and they're the ones who are failing at doing it because they know they're not able to, right? It's people like you, right? It's where you that will relate to your story and be like, yeah, I know all this stuff. I'm a productivity expert, but I still fall down, right? This is the thing. They feel like frauds. They feel like they can never find the panacea of productivity, even though they know all these things. They've read all these books.
Right. Yeah. So next, I guess, positioning the transformation, like getting rid of procrastination, is a certain level of pain associated with it, but it's definitely pretty basic.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like an anti-procrastination tool. It's still a tool. Yeah.
I would say this, like, I also left this in the feedback, but like, like the basis of all marketing is like you're gonna trigger those primal needs, right? Like, and one of them for me, like the reason I would buy your program and service is like my ego of like being like, I brought this up today, like being passed up by my competitors. Like there's a reason why, like in saying that, it's like there's a reason why you see someone come into your space and surpass you within a matter of months. And the reason why is because they have this tool. I'm like, fuck, they do have something that I don't have. It's like, yeah, they have this ability to focus, and like that for me would like trigger my pain, right? And so like touching on those significant pain points across the whole VSL is also really important.
By the way, those are different products. The one you're talking about is a different product than the one I'm talking about right now.
Got it.
But they're both like, yes, I should, like, even Focus Blocks, we can still kind of touch on the same pain that of being, your competitors passing you by and all of those things.
Yes, I have a team meeting right now. That's cool. Gotta head out.
Yeah.
Have a great
man.
weekend. Have a great weekend, you guys.
All right.
See ya.
Take care. All right. I
Yep,
guess we should probably wrap it up anyway here so we can. But one thing I wanted to say real quick, I forgot too. So I was talking to Josh last week about the boxes, right? So about like what you should like
the boxes.
Like what box would you put me in? What box would you put Josh in? Like each one of us should have a box. Like you're known for this. This is what you are, like this guy, right? So for example, I said like Jocko Willink, right? Freedom equals or military, leadership, discipline equals freedom, right? Like that box, like hardcore. David Goggins, mental toughness, right? You could pick each person that's extremely successful and you could put them in a box, right? So I was like, well, what is my box? Right? Because I'm doing all these things and that I don't have a unified thing, right? So my box is I teach men how to become free, more free, to build freedom in their life, right? In the different areas of their life, right? Because my definition of freedom is your ability to execute your will upon the world, right? So that is, you achieve freedom through mental toughness, through the mindset, to be able to execute on things and get them done. You achieve it through the fitness, the ability to actually execute, to have the performance that you want body wise, financial freedom, right? Relationships, all of these things relate to being more free, the ability to execute your will upon the world. So anyway, so that's just real quick. I just wanted to, say that that's my box. That's the thing that unifies everything that I do.
Yeah. That's interesting. I wonder what. Yeah.
Right. But your box would be that you make people more productive.
Yeah.
Without, in fact, I would say you make people more productive without willpower, without complex systems, without or there's probably another, there's probably one more in there, but basically like you make people more productive through accountability.
Yes, to a certain, I would say I'm like the high performance environment guy, because I'm not the guy. I'm not the expert in any of this, though I do, like, I don't deliver any of the products, if you think about it, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not really a quote unquote expert, but what is the business? Like, where do you box the business in, the Focus Blocks business or the Quantum Leap business as in totality? Yeah, it is boxed in high performance environment, in my opinion.
So
high performance environment that doesn't basically, it's the X factor of productivity that people don't tap into.
And the idea behind like this box, kind of viewpoint is that whatever your box is, or your company's box is, every piece of content, every piece of marketing, everything you ever do, every product that you produce is moving them to the transformation that that box represents, is aiding them in some way to achieve what that box represents, right? So
Yep.
for me, everything I produce should be creating more freedom for men, right, in their lives. Everything you're producing or your marketing message, everything should be based around the central theme of whatever you decide that absolutely that box is, where that's, you know, helping people become more productive through accountability, creating a high performance environment for productivity. Maybe that's it, creating a high performance environment for productivity, right? So these are the things. So all your messaging can be kind of unified around this idea that you're creating this high performance environment. This is how I help you create this high performance environment. This is,
Oh yeah, it is productivity with zero effort on your parts.
okay, productivity with zero effort on your part. You just show up.
Double your productivity with zero effort on your parts. Basically, that's
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah.
But the thing that, I mean, that's an interesting angle. But the thing that I'm trying to figure out is like, remember, Tim Ferriss is not the productivity guy.
Right.
Tim Ferriss is the 4-hour work week guy.
Yeah.
That's the box. You would never put him in the productivity box. David Allen is the productivity guy.
I mean, I would put Tim Ferriss in the life hack box. I would say that, like,
Sure, but if you think about, like, if you
optimize.
talk to anyone, like if you talk to anyone like, hey, who's Tim Ferriss? And they're like, oh, he's the 4-hour work week guy. Because that's their impression of the world. Like, he's created that brand positioning in the market. Like, you're talking about positioning. You're talking about how does the customer perceive you? What is the position that the customer holds in their mind for you? Is that, like, in some ways, like, you're creating what is the position in the customer's mind for your business, for your product or service?
Right. But I think, like, again, like, if you looked at Tim Ferriss's podcast and everything and that he's producing, what is he doing? He's getting, like, it's more of the tools of the Titan is really what he's really become. That's his box now, is he gets, like, the high performers. He, like, hacks, you know, instead of you having to learn all this stuff, let's just take it from the experts. Let's just figure out the quickest way to do things, the best way to do things, right? And 4-hour work week fits into that, right? I mean, yeah, he might be known for 4-hour work week, but if you had to really put him in a box and what does he do? Like, if you're like, I'm going to pay Tim Ferriss $10,000, what do I need him to help me do? I guess that's maybe a good way of figuring out the box, right? What would someone pay you $10,000 to help them do, right? And if it's Tim Ferriss, it's going to be to, like, take all of this knowledge from all these people and really optimize your life to hack it so that you can get the most, minimum effective dose, right? That's so how can I do the least amount of work and get the most amount of value out of it? That's what you'd pay Tim Ferriss to do, right?
Yeah, hacking. Yeah, life hacking.
So if someone is paying you $10,000, what are they getting?
They're getting accelerated results. They're getting results that's in half the time,
But
and even quicker.
But what specifically, like, are they, like, if someone's paying you?
When someone's paying me $10,000, that's usually like my coaching clients, like
right.
6-month coaching clients.
But what would you be doing for them?
Yeah, I mean, that's my coaching clients, but let's not even talk about 10K, because I don't want to talk about my coaching clients per se, because that is more of business leverage and all of those things, time plus business leverage. But from the business point of view, like, maybe there's this, because what Chris Williams, when he was talking, like when we were talking, he's like, he sold a program where he was like, he didn't sell any productivity program, but he said the 10-hour agency or something like that, like, your agency He was a $30,000 mastermind where he was teaching agency owners to get their agency to run their agency in 10 hours a week.
Yeah.
Right. That's the transformation, or that's a very clear end result for a very clear avatar, for a
Right.
very, 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 very specific avatar, a hyper defined avatar that would be willing to pay $30,000 for that. Right.
Right.
So, like, mine focus box right now is positioned as a generic offer for a very broad customer base.
Right. Right.
Maybe it shouldn't be a generic offer for a very broad customer base. It should be more of a specific offer for a very specific customer base, where we can make a claim something like double your results while working 10 to 20 hours fewer, 10 to 20 fewer hours every week.
Well,
In the
actually,
next,
let's take that idea, right? Remember in $100 million offers, he had I think it was from Dan Kennedy, the whole, in fact, wasn't it a productivity course, right? And then it was a productivity course for a specific industry, right? And then the price went up, right?
yeah,
It's almost, maybe that's the answer, is to say, don't double your productivity, whatever.
not generic.
Yeah, just make it for a specific industry, a specific type of person, right? You could start at small business owners. But you could be even more. You could be for software developers specifically. You could be like, this is how software developers achieve, become rockstar developers and achieve, results that are, just far superior to their competitors. This is how, right? Whatever it is, like if you picked one, like if you look at your customer base right now, if you surveyed your customer base and you said, what is the occupation that is most prevalent in your customer base? And then you just made this specifically for them, your marketing. And of course you could choose different, verticals over time, but just master one, get to a point where you've got successful converting ads and profitability there. And then you could do a different campaign. But what if you just campaigned on them and make it that specific?
Yeah, that's basically what the thing is. Basically, what I've been thinking about, and more and more, is like the more precise I get with the outcome, like the promise in the ad or in the landing page or even in the overall webinar, the more precise I get with like what I say there, the more precise I have to be with my targeting or who the target avatar is that I'm going to get the results for, right? So when I say double your hourly productivity, it's a very generic, broad offer for anyone and everyone, right? Yeah. But if I said something along the lines of double your revenue while working 10 to 20 hours, while working 20 fewer hours every week in the next 90 days, revenue is not for everyone. It's a very specific kind of person. And maybe then it's an entrepreneur. It is an entrepreneur. It's not a software developer. It's not anyone else. Revenue is of a specific person or specific kind of person who cares about revenue as the metric for success.
I still don't think it's specific enough, though.
Yeah. It would go to more like, maybe I should just first step in making it specific is to just call out entrepreneurs and let go of everyone else.
Yeah, even then, like, could you even narrow it down to a specific kind of entrepreneur?
Yeah, I would narrow it down to online entrepreneurs, just like myself.
Well, but even more so, like online entrepreneur, can you narrow it down even further to a specific type of online entrepreneur?
Yeah, I could nail it down to, let's say, 6-figure online entrepreneurs, because that's the broadest swath of market I can serve.
But that's not how people identify themselves. Do they? Right? Like
they do. Like, people do identify themselves as like 7-figure business owner, 6-figure business owner.
Let's do this then. six-figure entrepreneurs trying to get to seven figures.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that people are like, yeah, that would resonate with people. They're like, yeah, that's me. That's where I am at. Right. So
Yeah.
what if this is the thing that helps them to get to seven figure, that gets them to seven figures?
Right. Gets them to accelerate their revenue, maybe double their revenue, double their income over the next 90 days or 180 days, 3 months or 6 months or something like that is the offer, while cutting down their work hours by 10 to 20 hours. And then we would create a program around it. So it
Yeah.
wouldn't just be Focus Blocks is the only thing they get. They get a very specific, tailored kind of way to use Focus Blocks to get those results, like a way to use their time, the way to how to effectively manage their day-to-day, like how to basically manage their time from Monday morning till Sunday night every day, every week, and kind of showing them. It has to be
Well,
I couldn't promise that end result without giving them a lot more detailed program. Like Focus Blocks is a tool that I can give them as it is, but
right.
with that end result, I would have to give them more involved training on how to use the tool properly and how to use their time properly and how to do leveraged work properly and all of those things.
Well, listen to this ad. Are you a six-figure entrepreneur struggling to get to seven figures? You've tried everything. The problem is you've tried every productivity system that you can. You've tried willpower. None of those things are working for you. You know, if you could just sit down and get the work done every day, that you could get to seven figures, but you're constantly interrupted by phone calls, by meeting requests, by browsing Facebook when you procrastinate, and you just can't help yourself. Boom. Right. And then, this is like, that's the pain, right? Hit that pain that will identify with that audience, and then get them to book a call or jump on the webinar to learn how to finally solve this problem without willpower, without another productivity system, without reading another book on productivity. Right. And then you can go into testimonials and say, or one or two quick ones, and be like, look, we helped so-and-so, so-and-so went from making, a six-figure to seven-figure transformation. She was doing $700,000 a year in her real estate business, and now she's doing 1.4 million or whatever it is, because that I think would resonate if you're like that, because there's a lot of people that are six-figure trying to get to seven-figure, and they know what their problem is that they just are not sitting down and doing the work, that they're interrupted all the time, and they've got too many things going on. They can't focus. They know, they've read Cal Newport's Deep Work, right? And they're like, I need to do deep work.
Yeah.
I gotta.
That might be the next. Yep.